leadership. How many of you guys heard the phrase servant leadership? To lead in your service, servant leadership. It's not about position or recognition. It's about posture. Can you imagine the things that would get done if no one cared who got the credit? Imagine the things that would get done if no one cared who got the credit. Jesus, of course, is the perfect model, the perfect example of leading by serving. We all could attest to that. He was the greatest of all. He was the best at loving and placing others before himself. I mean, he's the GOAT, greatest of all times. He is the man. Even while broken, he kept the course. Even while misunderstood, he never deterred. While facing death, he persevered. On the cross, he says, John, take care of my mama. Still thinking of other people. He says, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. Don't send the lightning just yet. True servant leadership reflects the heart of God. Does your heart look like God's? That's what we're all achieving towards, right? That's what we're all trying to be. We're trying to be our heart shaped to look like Jesus, right? I don't know what is that the heart? Is that what we do now? Heart? I don't know. I'm out of tune a little bit, but today I want to talk about the ultimate servant leader. Number one, Jesus is the ultimate servant leader. I want to bring up something in the book of Matthew that in my research in this, it stood out to me. How long was Jesus on the earth during his public ministry? I mean, Jesus was about 33, 34 years old, but he didn't begin his public ministry until he was about 30, all right? And from the time he started his public ministry, about Matthew 4 to Matthew 16, his whole public ministry is about 3.5 years. But I want to show you something real quick. All right, when you go to Matthew chapter 4, is when he started recruiting. He started bringing in Peter, Andrew, and one day, as Jesus was walking along the shore of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon, also called Peter, and Andrew, throwing a net into the water, for they fished for a living. This marks the beginning of Jesus' public ministry and the calling of his first disciples. Around the start of this time, can you imagine this conversation? And if you read this story, you will find that he doesn't do a background check on them first. He doesn't look them over. In fact, he's Jesus. He probably knows everything anyways, but yet he doesn't see where they're standing. He doesn't see what they know. He doesn't see what they understand. He doesn't qualify them. How many of you know you got to turn in a resume a lot of times before they let you in? You got to be pre-qualified. But Jesus just said, you come with me. And he started to go. He said, you can bring your brother too, I guess. No, I'm kidding. He called them both, right? He called them both. There's no history done. There was no background checks. There's no qualification. There's no statement of declaration of like, do you accept me as Lord and Savior in your life? They would have been like, who you talk? What? You don't find this until almost 2.5 years later. Jesus starts just walking and teaching, giving of himself to these strangers, to these people. He starts teaching and walking and pouring into and eating and fishing and playing pickleball and doing whatever games they did back then. He just started doing life, right, with them, and he followed them around. He just had them, he said, come with me. He said, come with me. I mean, I think Jesus may have done this a little bit. Some of us may have been a little more stubborn than others, but come with me. I want to show you some stuff. We're going to go over here, and we're going to heal this person. We're going to go over here and feed 5,000. We're going to go over here. Don't trip your brother. That ain't nice. Hey, this is a good example, though. They're brothers. Sorry, come on over here. So Jesus said, come with me. So, sorry, come with me. And I just started showing them how to do things, and we started going through life together. And I wasn't worried about me. I was worried about you, and I was really worried about you. And y'all can sit down. But go to 2.5 years without any expectation of recognition, without any expectation of getting anything back from these two jackwagons. Jesus was just about you, feeding you, pouring into you, growing you, making sure you're better, making sure you get the king-size bed. I'll take the cot. But in Matthew 16, this is interesting. Then he asked him, after almost 2.5 years, but who do you say I am? At that point, there's a moment where they get to confess with their mouth. Just before Jesus begins his final journey to Jerusalem, it's a pivotal moment. The disciples confess, finally, that Jesus is the Messiah. So you say, why are we talking about this? I want to show you something. So many times in life, I try to convert you and then grow you. Don't you think it's easy or makes more sense the fact that we do things like Jesus? I want to grow you. I want to form a relationship with you to where we gain trust. Then I can change your soul. Then you'll make a good confession. I mean, isn't that what he did? He poured into him. He wasn't worried about himself. He wasn't worried about having an entourage and being the goat. He didn't worry anything about that. He poured years into their lives and then finally said, well, who do you say I am? Everyone else doubts, but who do you say I am? In John 13, Jesus was the ultimate example of servant leadership. His heart was obviously in the right place. He's Jesus. But in John 13, verse 12 through 17, he says, I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done. And what is he doing here? Is the Last Supper. He's washing the disciples' feet. Y'all, their feet were nasty back then. Some of y'all's feet are nasty today. I see them. But the feet back then were nasty. They were all covered in all kinds of things. So they didn't have automobiles they got around in. They had donkeys and donkeys and animals left stuff behind, and you walked in it sometimes, you know. Where's Big Nick at? You know what I'm talking about, Big Nick, yeah. He picked up a calf for me the other day. He said, I just felt something warm go down my leg. I don't know what happened. I said, oh, he peed on you. That's what happened. He peed on you. Sometimes you get in it, right, Nick? I don't know. I've come into the house a few times after going to work on the cattle, and it could be a great experience. It could be an amazing time. They may have just given birth to some calves, and it's all joyful, and you walk inside, and you still sometimes get poop on your shoe, and your wife yells at you for getting it on the floor, right? None of y'all wives yell, do you? Neither does mine. She's perfect. But Jesus, the King of Kings, took the role of a servant. He wasn't too high to stoop low. Leadership isn't just telling, it's doing. I remember I had a boss. I worked for a company called Centos for a while, and I drove one of them trucks and delivered stuff. And man, the boss I had, he was a driver at one time too. And this man was my trainer, and he wrote. He wasn't the trainer, but he had a ride with me, and I had so much respect for him. That dude was sweating way more than I was. Now he's the manager, right? He's just on the truck with me. Could have just been doing, but he took the initiative. What a leader! What an example! This guy is pouring. He's running circles around me. What an example! He wasn't just talking it; he was walking it, right? You are leading somebody today, whether you like it or not. I've told you before, you are influencing people all around you, either for the good or for the bad. Some of you got stinky leadership. But a lot of you, I see your hearts. You've got an amazing gift God has given you. He's given you a circle of influence, and He's growing you, and you're starting to soak this in, and you're starting to not only soak this in, but you're starting to regurgitate it. You're starting to do it, to live it, to take it from here and put it boots to the ground, right? If Jesus could serve in the shadow of the cross, what excuse do we have when things aren't going our way? I want to challenge you with this. There's so many times that you say, well, I don't know that I'm ready. I've got this going on. I've got that going on. And you're right. Jesus had a lot going on too, but you still go on. Because it ain't about you. It's every person, everywhere, before ourselves. Why? Because it's pressing, it's urgent, it's 911. People need to know what you know. And you got a tummy ache and you can't say anything. Come on, somebody. Number 2, investing in others. Philippians 2, 3-5. Don't be selfish. Be humble. I see a lot of humble people here. I see God changing your hearts and you're understanding humility. You're understanding that it isn't about me. You're understanding that it is something greater than me. Thinking of others as better than yourselves. That's right. Other people are more important. It's not me. I don't need someone told me one time, you're in this for a title. I said, a title? Well, what's a title? I don't even understand. You don't even make sense. Get out of here. You must have the same attitude that Christ had. Servant leaders intentionally pour into others. I remember this guy I was on staff with before. His name was Brian. I thought he was fake, just because how much of a Barnabas he was, how much an encourager he was. You know, I just thought it was fictitious. But I learned that this was his gift. This was his ability. He would just always think of me. Went out of his way and made things better for me. I enjoyed working with him. He was a co-worker, and he was a youth pastor. I was a kids pastor, but he always seemed to look out for me. And it was inspiring to me. It showed me that's not my gifting. I had to learn that. I'm learning that. I'm still learning that. But he always went out of his way of thinking of other people. He'd always bring something into the secretaries. He was always doing something for someone else. It's just this constant deal, like he just had to keep on keeping on worrying about other people. Aren't those cool friends? You know, people base what they think about you on the way you make them feel about themselves when you are together. If you don't have friends, you may say, well, how am I making them feel when we're around each other? I remember I've had people in my life I just always wanted to be around because they were always excited to see me. Hey, Steve, and they'd always say, man, I like your shoes, or I like your face, or something. You know, they were always just, I felt important to them. And then we had other people that could care less if they saw me and always ridiculed me. Who do you think I wanted to be around? Hello. Spouses, if your other spouse doesn't ever want to come home, let's say it like this. You want to keep them coming home, make them feel welcomed. Make them feel like they're the best thing ever. It's okay to lie a little bit. I'll tell you this is for free. Women, you want your men to succeed? Tell them you see the man they can be. All right? The one that you want them to be, you tell them, because I promise you, your words carry so much weight with us. If they're not quite who you think they need to be yet, that's okay. You need to tell them who they can be. You change the world. Come on, women. Ain't that right, guys? We weigh heavily on what our women think about us. Just the fact that my wife says she gives me the freedom to win and the freedom to lose. I'm safe around her. I know that no matter if I win or if I lose, I'm still in good standing, because that is the example of our Father, right? I think it's biblical or something. Come on, somebody. But we intentionally pour into others. Leadership is multiplication, not control. Give it away. What are you doing now that someone else can do? Give it away. Empower. As part of my job as a pastor is to equip the saints. How many saints do I have in the room today? Okay, when the pastor raises his hand, he wants you to raise his hand too. Okay. How many saints do I got in the room today? That's encouraging. The rest of you are still confused. We'll work on that. I love you guys. But leadership is multiplication. It's not control. It's helping other people. It's helping other people to be the best that they can be. right? It's not, I can't control you to be me. I don't want you to be me. We don't need more of me around here. I need you to be you and the God-given gifts and everything that comes. I need to empower that. You need to empower each other and encourage each other to be running on all 8 cylinders. Because can you imagine when you're running on all 8 cylinders and you're running, and then we all start to benefit. Some of you need a little more oil. You ain't changed your oil in a minute. You should do that from time to time. But we're going to encourage each other because it's not about me controlling you, but it is seeing the value in people. You have got to learn to see the value in people, even when they don't see it themselves. I need you. When I'm down, I need you to come up and say, you got this, man. I see what God's doing in your life. I need people. That's the people that I want to surround myself with. You say, well, that sounds pretty good. I'd like to be surrounded by some of them people too. Where are they? Well, why don't you start being one and watch what God does? So why don't you start going out and encouraging those and seeing what you can see in someone else. Make it up if you got to. I'm just kidding. Be encouraging to other people. Because there is times in our lives when I need to cash in on some of y'all's faith. I need to cash in on some of y'all's motivation. I need something else. How many can attest to that? There's sometimes you just need, remember the pastor's hand is up. How many of you, sometimes, thank you. Y'all are getting this room, are y'all doing good? This side's doing good too. All right. We need each other. My man. But it's seeing the value in people. When you see somebody who's confused genderly, they're not sure if they're a guy or a girl, can you look inside and see the value in that person? When you see someone who's distorted themselves physically, can you still look in and see the value? When you see someone who is on death row for something heinous they did, can you still see the value in that person? When you've encountered the enemy, the one who has hurt you, can you still see the value? God does. God still says, I made that. How many did he make in here today? That's right. Everybody. And if God made you, you still have value. You're still a diamond. You're a precious gem. You just got some muck on you right now. But God is going to get that off. So I just got to ask, who are you raising up? Who are you believing in today? You could just start at the house. Come on, men, we're the leaders of the house. Are you encouraging your wife? Are you being positive in your wife? Never tear your wife down. Never make her the butt of your joke in public. Now, there's good fun and picking and whatnot, but I understand that.